So what you just saw here is actually a reflection of why the public space was created and why it was so important. A city is not just about bricks and mortars and building and people, but it's really about the culture and the people that live here and the green space that is needed. And so as I think about Little Mekong Plaza, as I think about the investment from the City of St. Paul through their 880 grant and the numerous partners that really believe in creating a vibrant avenue that embrace the diversities and different cultures that make up our city. I couldn't help but reflect back on when we first got here in 1980s as refugees. And my family and I lived not too far down the street from here, and Dale and Selby, and we would walk every day, to the church down the street here. And at that time, the buildings were all boarded up. And who would have thought that hence 40 years later that we remained and have a very strong presence here along Central Corridor. And so I am really inspired by the fact that this becomes the first space that really not only activate activities from the community and create a sense of belonging, but that this also inspire and set as examples for other owners along the avenue who could also in the future look at replicating a similar effort such as this. Hmong American Partnership have been in the Frogtown neighborhood for close to 20 years. And we used to be across the street here on Western. And today, we are here creating a permanent presence. And Little Mekong is the very beginning of that permanency that embraced not only the history of the Southeast Asian community, but our contribution, as well. And so we have a number of great speakers that are going to talk about the importance of the green space and how we could really use this to inspire and to activate more space that embrace and creates a sense of welcoming for multi-generations. In the beginning, when we started talking about this, we held listening sessions, and we have the elders in the community that talked about the importance of having a place where after they frequent the numerous restaurants and grocery stores and other places along Central Corridor, that there is an outdoor space for them to just enjoy the weather and just to hang out. And so may this space here be utilized by them. Thank you. And I'm going to introduce Van Meng Tao, who's my co-partner in this effort. He and I go way, way back, and we've done a lot of projects together. And it is with the vision that Van Meng had that Little Mekong becomes a reality today. So I wanted to introduce Van Meng Tao to the podium.
Thank you, Bao. I'm with the Asian Economic Development Association. First of all, thank you all for being here this afternoon. Thank you for being here to share in the celebration of the grand opening of this plaza. We're very proud of this moment. And by the way, don't be afraid to step on the plaza. It's new, but feel free to come over. All of you are in the parking lot. The plaza is for your use. So thank you for being here. This, again, is a very proud moment for us here in Little Mekong. As Bao mentioned, this is one of the first community spaces along the Green Line. This is the first community space in Little Mekong around the Western Station on the Green Line. So we're very proud of that. As Bao mentioned, Asian Economic Development Association led the vision for this plaza, but it really is the vision of the businesses in this area and the people who live in this neighborhood. We listened to them and we supported that vision. And it's been 3 years since that vision first came together as we went door to door and talking to everyone in the neighborhood. So it represents the aspirations of this community, this neighborhood, for community space, as I said. That is welcoming. That is a healthy, walkable environment that contributes to the environment here. We want people to gather and enjoy this community. We haven't had a space like this yet in this area, in the Western Station area. So it fulfills part of the aspiration, and it's, as Bao mentioned, it's just the beginning, where we have other, I think, spaces, community spaces that we want to create to really, truly turn the Little Mekong district into a world-class destination on the Green Line. So these are reasons why we're really proud of this moment today. I want to thank Mayor Chris Coleman, Councilmember Dai Tao, the City Council of St. Paul, and the city's planning department for their vision in creating the 8 to 80 Vitality Fund, which funds the building of this plaza. And the fund makes other community spaces around the city possible for everyone. So thank you, Mayor Chris Coleman, Councilmember Dai Tao. Also want to thank all the funders who supported us and the vision for this plaza over the last 3 years. From community engagement, to planning, to visioning, to actually building the space itself and activating this space. Their support made this possible. I can't name all of them because there's a dozen of them, over a dozen of them, but I especially want to thank American Partnership, the organization that owns this plot of land, and the St. Paul Riverfront Corporation. Without them, we wouldn't be here today on the plaza. So really want to shout out and say thank you to HAP and St. Paul Riverfront Corporation. So thank you again all for being here. I now turn this over to Councilmember Dai Tao, who is a representative of this area.
Thanks, Ron. Thank you. It's such a great honor to be a part of this celebration today, and this is one of those projects that I'm really proud to be able to fight for, to gain the kind of resource that we need to build and to strengthen our city in our neighborhood. You know, in the past, this neighborhood has been overlooked, but today we all stand here as the change that we needed to see. And so, again, thank you, HAP, thank you, Ada, thank you to the city staff, Park and Rec, thank you to the neighbors and all the different partners that have made this possible. Now, St. Paul, it's a special place, and this neighborhood, it's rich with diversity, particularly the people from all different parts of cultures and regions of Southeast Asia, East Africa, and other parts of the world. With that said, I think we should also take time to reflect and to not forget about the history and the people that had come before us in these neighborhoods, the Native American, the European immigrants, the African Americans who have built and prepared this community so that we can make the kind of progress that we're making today. Now, I know some of y'all have seen the Hmong Pan Dao, right? Like the Hmong story cloth. And so the city of St. Paul is like that fabric. And the threads are the people in the different community and cultures, ethnicity that are woven together to tell that story. And that's what St. Paul is for all of us. And we get to come together as threads in the community to create that story so that years from now, people can look back at those story cloth. And it's because of you coming together to build that narrative and to unite as one. Now, this vibrant public space will add great values to the economic vitality for businesses and residents. And, you know, I'm really also excited about the MLS soccer stadium and how the fans could stop here and eat and drink and have a good time before they take the light rail to the soccer game. And seniors, we have lots of seniors in this neighborhood. They'll have a place to rest, and kids will have shades to play in, and businesses will draw new customers. So with that said, you know, thank you, all of you, for being here. You are the reason why our diversity, it's our strength. You are the reason why we're achieving progress together. And you are the reason why Ward 1 in the city of St. Paul, it's a great place to live, to work, and play. So thank you so much for being here. Sure. Next, I'd like to introduce, welcome Mayor Chris Coleman. You know, being the only person of color on the St. Paul City Council, you really need strong allies to move racial equity work. And I've just been really pleased that the mayor has been a strong ally and partner in creating racial equity in the city of St. Paul, top to bottom. And I'd like to welcome him to the podium.
Well, thank you, Di, and thank you so much. Really, I'm so proud to be here today to dedicate this plaza, because in a lot of ways it's a recent story that has its roots in the vision of the Asian Economic Development Association and Hmong American Partnership and others that had the vision for Little Mekong. But in many ways, it's a very old story that really begins with the decision that was made to build a freeway just south of here through the Rondo neighborhood. And one of the things I like to always remember is what that neighborhood was like before the freeway went through. It was once described as a riot of warm colors, and you know, the vibrancy of the Rondo neighborhood, the businesses, the families that lived there, that went to school there, that worked there, were really dislocated, and that neighborhood was wiped out. And so fast forward to the conversation that we had around building the light rail line, learning the lessons of history so that we didn't repeat them, repeat the mistakes of history. And we made a pledge when we set off to build the light rail line that we were going to do it differently here, and that the riot of warm colors that was once the Rondo neighborhood would be able to be a part of the new redeveloped University Avenue and the Green Line corridor. And I think that this plaza really demonstrates how we have fulfilled that obligation, how we have maintained that obligation, and are really working towards building that commitment across the entire corridor. Because it is important that we recognize that as St. Paul continues to be increasingly diverse, as our residents come from all corners of the globe, that they have to be a part of the new future of the city of St. Paul. They have to be a part of the economic vitality of our city. And by dedicating this plaza, I think we are really making that commitment. In addition to the work and the commitments that we made around light rail, was the understanding from the work of Gil Penalosa, who came and spoke at the Riverfront dinner several years ago, to talk about the importance of vibrant open spaces and public places. That public infrastructure wasn't just about filling potholes, though I can attest as mayor that's important, you have to fill your potholes, but that if that was all you were focused in on, you were not creating the kind of vibrant city that we want St. Paul to be. And so it was about places where people would gather. It was about places where people could come and just sit on a warm summer day, or gather before a soccer game, and whether they take the light rail down or get on, just march down in mass to the new soccer facility. The fact of the matter is, you have to create those places where people can just get out, meet their neighbors, talk, have a bite to eat, whatever that may be. And so this plaza is more than just the acre or so that we have here. It is about a statement and a commitment to having a vital and vibrant city. There are so many folks that were a key part of this. Obviously, Hmong American Partnership, the Asian Economic Development Association. They've done just such a great work of creating a destination here. As Va Ming said, we really do want to have this become a world-class destination so people know about Little Mekong across the globe. The Riverfront Corporation that was so critical. JB Realty was the construction management tackling all the little details of the plaza. Trust for Public Land was really important, an important partner in just talking about the greening of the Green Line. And the Central Corridor Funders Collaborative that gave us some money so that we could actually hire Ellen Stewart so she could help us in the Parks Department really create some great spaces. And so all those folks came together to make this vision possible, to make this plaza a reality. There's a lot of work left to do, and I think that we have great opportunities all across this corridor, and quite frankly, in every commercial corridor in the city of St. Paul. But if we approach all of those future projects with the same commitment, the same partnership that we approached this project, then we are going to create that vital city, those great public places, and the kind of community that we want St. Paul to be. Thank you all for being a part of this.
Everything you see around you is really the community's vision, what they wanted to see here in terms of a plaza that really reflected the neighborhood and and all the cultures that are here. So, but a lot of hands went into this in terms of designers, as well as community art was a really important part of what the community said that they wanted to see. So I'm just going to take you on a little tour here of what you're seeing in front of you. So first of all, part of what people wanted to see was a plaza where they could have the night market. So there's two spaces. The concrete space in front of you is the permanent space, and then the green flexible space is something. So the idea was meant really for any kind of performances in addition to the night market to be happening. So it was designed to really be flexible, but also reflect the community. It was really intended to be a celebration of the Mekong River region and the communities through art and water. The idea is that this is the river flowing, and what the illustration is on the plaza here is the Mekong River with the countries around it. And the artist for that, I just want to point out that the artist for that was Cao Li Tao, and it was sandblasted by Blasted Art. So if we could just give a hand for the artist. Is the artist here? Oh, great. So I'm sure she can answer any questions that people have about this beautiful piece of work. The second thing was the peace pole that's over here to my right. It's really recognizing the variety of local cultures and the need for everyday unity and peace. What it says in 8 different languages is, "May peace prevail on earth." On top of that is going to be a light feature that's going to light up it, and it's going to look like a flame. So that's the other thing that's coming with the peace pole. The third kind of symbolic piece was the bridge that is really symbolic of traveling over water. In this case, it travels to the neighborhoods to the south and connects through to the plaza. There's rain gardens with native plantings, and it's cleansing the water not just from the plaza but the surrounding area. And there's native planting so that there's low maintenance, and then aspen trees off to my right that over time will grow to provide shade for part of this area. And then lastly is people wanted it to be welcoming, reflect the culture, and have it be safe. So what you see up here are 2 lights that are designed to be kind of soft light to light up the area, but not glare for the people in the neighborhood.
That is a traditional Hmong ceremony, a ceremony of blessing, welcome, and also to make sure that this is a safe, spiritually safe space for the community. Everyone who visit this space will be safe and happy and healthy.